You're with Julian on the brown note, and why do we put up with cyclists? Now, I'm going to go to hell for this one. I want to clarify that deliberately inflammatory statement or title was it. Why do we say cyclists? There are two distinct groups of cyclists, and one of them deserves nothing but our love, and the other does not. And the first group are the people who are going from A to B, or just trying to be a bit healthy, or who are cycling to work and are probably wearing relatively normal clothing. I have nothing but love for these people. These people probably even use cycle lanes. The other group are the Lycra commandos, who go out in their battalions and terrorize the roads during rush hour for their own personal racetrack. And these are the people who I have a problem with. And unfortunately, we always lump all cyclists into the same group. And I'm out here in Terry Hills at the radio station, and this is like an epicenter of the Lycra Commando Brigade. There were some of them in the car park a few minutes ago. I really hope not listening live on the radio. Have I locked the door? Why do we put up with this? So, you imagine joggers. If joggers got together en masse in groups of 20 and decided to commandeer George Street or some major street in the city at 7 a.m. for their own personal racetrack and set up, a route where they would block the sidewalk for people using it as pedestrians, no one would put up with that. We wouldn't allow cars to drive around in groups of 20 without the cops being all over them. If they were massively affecting the speed that other vehicles are going at or impeding their progress, even motorcyclists, the bigger brother of the cyclists, they aren't allowed to go around in groups of 20 unless they're Hells Angels, in which case they've probably got a lot of police with them anyway. But they're certainly not allowed to say that this stretch of road going 30k is our personal racetrack every Sunday at 7 a.m. or on a Monday morning. Why do we allow it? It's no other group of people who are allowed to use public thoroughfares. People say, oh, well, they pay tax. They're road users. They're entitled to use public roads. Of course they are, but motorists aren't allowed to use public roads as their racetrack. It doesn't work. Runners aren't allowed to use a pavement as their personal racetrack. Individual joggers can go out. Maybe a couple of them can. But not a massive group that continually blocks everyone else's use of that public thoroughfare. And the other thing is, they're the most aggressive people on the road next to tradies in utes. You never get a casual rider being aggressive towards you, but as soon as someone slaps on the Commando Lycra outfit, these are the most aggressive riders on the road, the most aggressive users of the road. At least someone going A to B, the casual rider, who deserves to be split off into their own group, who's doing wonders for the environment and making themselves healthy and deserve nothing but commendation, at least if they see a line of 20 cars behind them, they make an effort to get out of the way or use a cycle track. A Lycra Commando's only god is the stopwatch. They won't budge if 50 cars are behind them, lest it ruins 1 second off their personal best. So I don't understand why we ascribe the same rules for road users based on, their usage of the road. A car has this right to use the road, a cyclist has this right to use the road, but no one has the right to commandeer the road or to massively impact. If I drive around at 50k below the speed limit, I can get a ticket. I can get pulled over. If I block traffic incessantly, I can get a ticket and pulled over. So why does that not happen to the Lycra Commandos of the Racing Brigade?